What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and I know the back to school season is coming up in just a couple weeks, and a lot of you guys out there are probably shopping for a new computer and have different needs, whether it's portability, durability, power, some gaming stuff. And today I've got a computer that I feel like really suits the premium Ultrabook class. It's nice and light, has great build quality, has pretty good specs, and for the most part can cover the general user of an everyday student. So this right here is the HP NV13, and it comes in at a price point that I feel like is relatively reasonable for what it has inside of it. It definitely isn't the cheapest out there, but at the same time there's definitely more expensive options. But this right here has all the great fundamentals as well as some security features that you might appreciate. You have a 13.3-inch display that has options to upgrade into a touchscreen as well as 4K. You have an i7 processor, you have SSD that is nice and fast, as well as Bang & Olufsen speakers and some great I/O on the side. But just starting out with the design, I think this computer looks really good. It's very simplistic, well machined out of aluminum, and overall just feels like a very premium built computer. I think the silver version looks pretty good, but it also comes in gold as well, and just looking at the side, every little edge about it is just very well cut out. One thing that you are going to notice is the hinge design, which is a little bit different than what you might be used to on other computers, and that is the fact that it actually folds to the bottoms. So if you go ahead and fold up the display, the first thing you're going to notice is that the computer itself kind of goes on a bit of an incline, and there's a few reasons for this, and I think it's actually pretty smart of an idea, and the only real drawback is the fact that you have to use two hands to open up your computer. This definitely allows for a much nicer typing experience being on a natural angle as opposed to completely flat, but it also allows for airflow to flow down the bottom, give you better performance through ventilation. When it comes to the keyboard and trackpad, this is essentially a full-size keyboard and it goes all the way to the edge of the computer, which is a pretty good use of space with the speakers on the top. I think the key size is pretty good. The letters are nice and large and easy to see. You also have background illumination when using it at night. And the only thing that I would complain about is that they are a little bit mushy, but for the most part, a pretty good typing experience. Everything is nicely spaced out and the keys are nice and large. The trackpad built in is a decent size and for the most part navigates nicely, but I will say it is on the louder side. Next to the keyboard, you're also going to find a fingerprint sensor, which is great for security, and overall it was very fast and responsive. On the I/O side of things, you've got USB Type-C as well as USB-A and a headphone jack. And on the other side, you have a USB Type-A, the power port, which looks a little bit like a headphone jack, as well as a webcam kill switch and micro SD. A couple things that are unique about this computer though are the security features, and there's two major ones right here that I think a lot of parents or students are going to appreciate. So the first one is that it has a privacy screen built in. So by pressing this button right here, you're only able to see the computer from the front angle. So as you guys can see right there, you're able to see the screen and what you're doing. But if you tilt it even a little bit, you're not able to see anything. And I think if you're in a busy classroom with tons of people sitting around you, then this is a feature that you might want to use. Make sure nobody copies your homework or your notes. And just like that, you can go ahead and just have the display in the regular setting, and that is all with just a press of a button. The second feature is a webcam kill switch, and a lot of times you see people in class put a piece of sticker on their webcam and it leaves like residue and stuff. It doesn't look very good, but the HP Envy actually has a physical kill switch on the side right here, and you just go ahead and enable that and it kills the power that goes to the webcam to ensure that it's never going to get hacked or anything. I think for a computer that still looks very consumer friendly, it's nice to have these security features built right in. So the display that I have on the computer in front of me is a 13.3-inch Full HD IPS screen, and for the most part it looks pretty good. It is sharp and the colors are decent, but I will say the viewing angles could be a little bit better. The display brightness for the most part is pretty good in indoor situations, but if you're going outdoor on a very sunny day, then you might struggle in some cases. So now into the performance side of things, this is essentially a premium Ultrabook. So it has good specs and can handle all of your everyday tasks and a little bit of production, but it definitely isn't made specifically for gaming. It is very portable and light, it has good battery life, and this model right here has a quad-core i7 processor paired with 8 gigs of RAM and a 256 gig SSD. That is an NVMe drive that gets you performance with read speeds over 3 gigabytes per second and write speeds of over 1.5. In a lot of cases, the speed of the drive really contributes as much to the performance as some of the other specs in it, with all of your files and applications loading very fast. For the most part with this spec right here, it should handle all of your everyday tasks, whether it comes to Word, Note, emails, web browsing, and all media consumption, as most computers should. But I think beyond that, it's able to do a little bit more, whether it's some photoshopping, some light graphics, some coding as well. And I think for a portable Ultrabook, it's actually very capable, and it's a reason why I think this is a great option for students. You might be able to do some light gaming or some light video editing, but I think if you're looking to do that specifically, then you might want to go with a larger computer. I think the size and weight to battery and performance ratio of this computer is overall pretty good with the quad-core processor inside. But now that I've talked a little bit about like the build quality, the features, as well as performance, display, and everything, I think the biggest question is how is the battery life on this computer? And overall, it was pretty good. I was able to get through an entire day. They claim up to 14 hours on like optimal settings, whether that's like 50% brightness or video consumption. But I think for like a general student doing notes and stuff, taking you around here and there, it should last you a full day, no problem. But I think what's great about it is that with just 45 minutes of charge, you can get 50% of battery. I think one of the categories that HP has done a good job focusing on over the years on their computers is the audio experience. Whether it was the Beats collaboration many years ago, which then moved to Bang & Olufsen, the speaker quality of this computer for its size is actually something that really impressed me. You've got this kind of speaker grill that spans across the entire top length of the computer, and I found it to be relatively loud and clear for the most part, and one of the better computers out there when it comes to the speaker experience. So if you're watching a lot of movies on this, you're definitely going to appreciate that. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna kind of wrap up the experience with this computer and what I liked about it, as well as things that I think you should definitely consider and drawbacks that I noticed. The first thing is that I have no complaints about the build quality. It is so well put together, it is well machined, I think it looks good, the keyboard's a good size, overall very comfortable, and the trackpad for the most part is sensitive and nice to use, but I do still prefer to use a mouse, and I found that the clicks were a little bit too loud for my liking. I think the security features are things that a lot of people are going to appreciate, the webcam kill switch especially. The battery life is also decent, and the performance to the price and size ratio was around where I expected, and I also found that the speaker quality was very good. So I think at the end of the day, if you're a student that's willing to spend a little bit more than the mid-end, then this computer is one that you're going to be very happy with for many years to come. Otherwise, if you guys want to check it out, I'm going to drop a link down below, and I'll see you all in the next video.